Illustrator. We're going to talk about the top 5 Adobe Illustrator tools. Before we do that though, we just need to briefly talk about the interface that you're staring at right now, or what we call the workspace inside of Illustrator. When you open up a file, you have an essential workspace that is consistent of tools. Some of the tools are hiding in these menus if you hold them down. You also have a properties panel, a layers panel, a library. Additional panels are located in window and down here. Anytime they are checked off, that means that they're open. Also, sometimes you'll find that your workspace can get a little bit messy. If you want to reorganize yourself, which I do quite often, and reset everything, you would go to Workspace and Reset Essentials. Also good to know is that the name of the file that you have open currently is located at the top in your document window. You may have multiple files open at the same time, so this is going to show this one is active now, but you can rotate between different projects. We're going to start off with line, and line is located in your shape menu. So if you hold down your rectangle, you can go ahead and locate line here. We're going to start by making a horizontal line. While we drag out our mouse, we're going to be holding the shift key as we go to the right side. This is allowing my mouse to stay completely straight. Now, I want to make sure to let go of my mouse first and then my key, because that will set the tool. We are now going to make a vertical line using the same idea, so holding shift, making sure to let go with the mouse first and then the key. And now I'm going to use a diagonal line, and because I'm not going to make this straight, I'm not holding my shift key down. And sometimes you want to change the style of a line, so going from a solid to a dashed or a dotted. We're going to go ahead and make those changes over here in the properties panel. This properties panel changes, as you can see, as you start to use different tools. So we're going to change the stroke, the outline, by clicking on the word stroke, and we're going to click the dashed line box. That's going to allow us to change the style. You can click out of that. And now if I want to, I can go to a new tool, or if I wanted to just make sure this wasn't activated, I would deselect it by choosing the black selection tool at the top and clicking on my artboard. This tool right here is beneficial because it allows you to move objects by clicking on them. The direct selection tool is a little bit more specific. It actually targets the anchor points individually, not the whole object. We're going to now move to our shapes. I'm going to hold down my line tool and choose rectangle. If I'm doing a rectangle, I can come from the corner and I can construct it the size that I would like. But if I want to make a square, I would hold my Option and my Shift key at the same time. What this does is it drags your mouse out from the center, letting go of the mouse first and then the keys. Let's go ahead and choose the circle. We're going to use that Option and Shift key again. So I'm going to drag that out. I'm letting go of my mouse first and then my keys. If I wanted to make an oval, then I would hold the Option and Shift key, but that's not what I want to do today. We are going to work with our polygon tool. I want to hold the Option and Shift key this time and drag out. And last, we're going to deal with the star. Before I hold the Option and Shift key down, I'm actually not going to use that for this one. I'm going to drag out, and your star sets at 5 points. If you want to add more points, you would go up and down on the arrows. Don't go so much that you can't see the difference between the different points. And then I would let go of my mouse. Now, if I mess something up, it's very important. Command Z is your undo. So I can do Command Z, and Command Z will go all the way back to where I started. So Command Z is your undo. Okay, I'm going to let go. And now we're going to go in and we're going to change the color of our rectangle. I need to select that rectangle, so I'm going to grab my black arrow, click on the box that I'm changing, and I'm going to hop over here to my properties panel. You will see you can change the color and the stroke color right here, so fill and stroke. You can also change it over here. Depends on where you want to work. I'm going to go over to my properties panel. If I double click on this box, which right now is telling me that my fill is turned off, I'm going to double click, or actually click once, and I'm going to get a range of colors. So I'm going to go ahead and choose. And now I'm going to change the outline or the stroke color by clicking on it. But instead of clicking on the word, I'm going to click on the box, and I'm going to change the color here. The other thing you can do is you can increase your stroke size, and we're going to make it 5. Okay, so far we've got lines, we've got shapes, and we've figured out how to color and outline an object. Now let's talk about type. The type tool, when you first open it up in Illustrator, has only 3 choices. I want you to have access to all 7 of these. You have the ability to take these tools on and off of your toolbar depending on what you use. So we're going to add these. We're going to do that by clicking on the 3 dots down here. And you'll notice that these are all the tools that you can have in Illustrator. The tools that are light gray have already been turned on, and the brighter ones need to be added. But we're only going to talk about the type tools. So if you have any type tools that are bright, I want you to hold them down, pick them up, and drop them on top of the T. That will add the tools to your toolbar. And now, because I did that earlier, I have access to all 7 of the type tools. We're not going to use them all today, but we are going to know how to bring them on and off of the toolbar. Now, I want to shut this window, so I'm going to click on my 3 dots, go back to my type tool. I want to make sure that I'm on the original type tool, just a standard type tool. And I want to be very specific with how big my word is going to be. This is going to be my name. So off to the characters panel down here, this is a property tool of, or setting of the tool, the type tool. I'm going to increase my type size. You have a drop-down menu. You're going to click on the artboard, and you're just going to type your name. If you want this to be bigger than 72, you can highlight this, come over here, highlight the number, and create a number that is the right size. If you have something that goes off of the artboard like this is not going to get printed. This is the no printing zone. So anything that needs to be printed has to be placed onto the white artboard right here. Okay, we're going to do a couple things. I want you to first save this to the cloud, File, Save As, Save to Creative Cloud. You're going to notice that it has the same title that you gave it before, and you're going to save. After you've saved, you are then going to File, Export, Export As, and I'd like you to choose Creative Cloud Files. So you are creating basically a download of this file inside of the Creative Cloud files that are placed onto your computer. You can keep it a PNG. You're going to export it. I've already done this, but you would hit export. And when you go into Canvas and you want to turn this in, I'll show you from a student view. Let me publish it first. You would come down to the bottom, click on the rocket ship, and inside of your Creative Cloud folder or files, you should have one off to the side, you should see a copy of this document. You're going to click on it, you're going to open it, and it's going to go into the assignment, and you will submit it to turn it in. And that is how you turn in your Illustrator files to me.